everybody. Welcome to episode 5 of Flow State. I'm Ayush, and I'm joined by Sanskar as always. And today we have a new guest, Zoyace. Yeah, so, Zoyace and I have been friends since we were kids. So this one's really been a long time coming. By day, he's a Drupal engineer working at a marketing firm, and outside of that, he's active in like the open source world as a developer. But he's been like an important part of Youanai from the very beginning. I've gone to him for advice, insights, for emotional support when things got heavy. A lot of things. Like he shaped a lot of our early design sense and how the brand looks today. Help us recruit like some of the most important people, like Sanskar, including him. And honestly, there are countless things that he's done for us that I like probably can't even remember right now. So it's like welcome to Flow State. Really glad to have you on.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really excited for this one.
You know, I was curious, like, how has AI impacted, or how has it affected, in like your productivity or how fast your firm moves and everything like that? Like, have you really seen it on the ground yet, or like, is that still something that you guys are experimenting with, or like, where are you in that process?
Mm, oh no, 100%. Like I've been using AI, to be honest with you, since like again, while working with you and you introduced
Right.
me to Cursor, right? And that's the day one since I've been using like AI. Not just that in terms of dev, right? So like we personally me, I use AI in like really dev heavy environments, like creating like basic components and all those kind of fun stuff, right? But besides that, and we all knew that AI is going to come and conquer this like software development aspect of the world as it is, right?
Hmm.
But while looking at other parts of like I would say our company itself, it has touched on like graphics, right? Even marketing, I would say like for content editors, for like editing copies, creating concepts. And our
Totally.
current CEO, he's like a really big advocate of AI, to be honest with you. He
Yep.
loves it. So yeah, it's been all around the place, right? And not just that. So I've been noticing this trend where even our clients are more aware of AI. So like
Hmm.
recently we had this client
Right.
where so like let's go, let's like dive into like my world, like right. So what I basically do is like I'm a Drupal developer, which is like an open source CMS content management system. For those who don't know what the CMS is, just for giving you guys a brief. So it just helps like a non-developer create a website. So our job is basically develop an environment for the user, which is like who doesn't know how to code, which rightfully so, right? To make
Hmm.
websites and make edits for it. So in our world itself, we have noticed multiple clients just like going away from Drupal and just like creating vibe coding websites, right?
Their own
So
websites. Yeah.
that's something again, it's a good thing. I would say like try it, but I'm a bit skeptical on that one as well, just because like that's my perception again. So it's gonna I feel like it's gonna come to a point where okay, it's just like a hump right now where you
Hmm.
think you can achieve something just by creating a web page, but for a whole site, it's not even possible. So like let's say for someone who doesn't know how to code and like it's just like HTML, JavaScript, CSS, or like basic React, right? And like you vibe code it, but you want to change it, you can kind of attempt to change it. But like let's say if you get nitpicky, it's much more tougher. But on the contrary, that was like 2, 3 months ago. But like right now, it's to a point where it's really amazing. And we were just even right before our podcast, right? We were just using Codex and you like we were just testing out a bug where it created like we just copy pasted like a image, made sure it was okay, and
Yeah,
like
we
it
just
even created
screenshotted
a
it and posted
yeah,
it in Codex, and it's fixed it. Ran the local development server, tested
exactly.
it on its browser, saw
Yep.
everything was okay, and then it
Yeah.
went ahead and sent a PR.
Amazing. Yep. Amazing, right, Lami? So again, so that's just on dev. And what I've continuously seen is in terms of graphics as well. So I remember shortly like 6 months ago or like 8 months ago, I noticed that like they were creating images from ChatGPT and all those kind of like image
Right.
models, right? Right. And they were not to a point where it was like, okay, these are amazing. Like let's say they were creating images with like 6 or 7 fingers for like a person, right? Which is come
Hmm.
on. But gradually, that was like 6, 7 months ago. But what we as a whole team has noticed is like those image and model has exponentially grown over the time. So even in our current firm as well, like our graphic designer itself like uses ChatGPT and like some minor image and model, which is like much more efficient. So on a long run, I would say like bro, much faster. I would say like 2 to 3 months, I can see like, the whole firm slowly changing as well. And I think, yeah, we're probably going to go in the right direction. What do you think
Yeah.
of that?
I mean, you said a lot of things there, so I want to kind of just,
Sorry about
take it
that.
apart one by one.
Yeah.
So, first, like you said, like you started to see it in the beginning with like development, coding type of
Yeah.
things. And then it moved to like, more parts of software engineering, not just like, writing the actual code, like it's able to test it, whatever, right? And then you said like use like across marketing departments where like it's creating copies and captions and like images
Mhm.
and videos and whatever. Say it's like even some of your clients are like kind of using Drupal, they're like try to vibe code it, like that's all great. And but you did say like you're still a little skeptical in terms of like what you'll be able to achieve, like not. And look, so I do tend to agree with that sentiment. It's still like you're still the artist, right? Like it's going to
Mhm.
help you bring your art to life, but you still have to make the design decisions, like how it
Oh, yeah.
looks and stuff like that. So yeah, like I still think, you know, a better designer can make better websites or
Mhm.
like design better content or whatever for uh versus someone that isn't like doesn't really have that like design eye in them. But it does raise the floor for everyone though, like
Mhm.
somebody that wasn't able to even like start before can now have a full-on website if they wanted
Yeah.
to, like if they spend a few hours, um you know and the barrier to kind of learn to get to 80%, let's say, is easier than ever now.
Percent. Again, I don't. This is my perspective of AI. I don't see it as in it's all ours perspective. Or to be honest with you, we usually talk like what 2, 3 times a week, but it's just like AI is not here to take our certain job, but it's just like optimize who you are as a person. I know you. I know how you operate daily, Ayush, and I've
Hmm.
seen you operate AI, and like you kind of operate in a such a way that you kind of just orchestrate your agents in a way.
Right.
And
Yeah, I'm not really doing any work in the computer
exactly.
anymore.
Right. You're the so like in terms of like let's say like an actual workflow kind of a team vibe, like you're just a project manager. You
Yeah,
have like 5 or 6 software engineers, 2 or 3 marketing like personnel, right? And you're doing on your own. And on a long run, for someone who knows how to operate an AI, who knows ins and outs of how do I orchestrate it, your productivity is going to go off the charts. For
absolutely.
someone, right? For someone who doesn't know or is missing this out, they're gonna fall back. Think of it this way: it's like similar to like a dot-com era where everybody was on a website, and for the businesses that did not have a website, they're not considered legit. So I think like this is
Yeah,
gonna go to their
they died.
route where you get what I'm trying to say, right? It's gonna go to a route where for
If
you
you're
to
not going
be
to use
legit,
AI like as a business, it's going to be hard to compete. I
yes,
totally agree with that because even if you
definitely.
don't use AI, and even if your neighbor doesn't use AI, there's a lot of people in this world. And
Hmm.
say, like, yeah, you're a marketing firm or like a legal firm or like,
Hmm.
any of these businesses.
Oh, yeah,
If you don't use it, somebody
yeah,
else will, and they'll be able to do what you do with 10
yeah,
people
yeah,
by just themselves, right?
yeah.
It's just not evenly distributed. That's true on so many different levels here. But yeah, even with AI and like how you can use your computer today to
Hmm.
make it do, things that you would have to go tell your employees, or like, you have to go hire people for. It can
Hmm.
increasingly do those things with a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of confidence.
Hmm.
Yeah, like, as I said, like how I use the computer is probably very different than how most people use computers
Right.
still, like, or how they used to anyway. Like now I'm not saying I'm like the most like, you know, tech savvy person or whatever. Like, but I do think I'm pretty tech savvy. But anyways, like,
Oh, you are. You
but
are.
like I've just been like able to like increase my productivity or like the impact I have. Like I've been able to get a
Hmm.
lot more out of like what I could do before versus now, because I at any given point I have like 7 or 6 or 8 agents like just going off doing different things in the company. Like
Hmm.
one's building a feature, one's like finding prospects on LinkedIn or whatever to like find customers, one's like posting our stuff on social media. We're using these AIs to do so many things that like what I'm able to achieve with a relatively small team of people, like
Would
the
you?
number is just blurry at this point because we can like increase staffing or decrease based on
Yeah.
like what task we have. And at this point, the bottleneck isn't like we don't have enough people. The bottleneck is we don't have enough ideas to
Yeah,
set these AI
exactly.
to do things.
Would you not think that like with our code base, would you not
Mhm.
think that would take like what like if it was just like let's
Yeah,
say like
like if
5
you
years
were to do
ago,
this like 5 years ago, say like, before
10 devs?
ChatGPT, yeah, you'd probably need like, I don't know, like at least like 20 to like 50 people to
There you
like,
go.
because our code base is huge. We have like an image
Huge,
editor in there, like we have
massive.
like a video editor in there, like, we have a whole like assisted. Well, AI wouldn't exist in that world, so we'd probably not need to build this. But if we did, like, right, it's a huge code base at this point.
Hmm.
And like, thinking of so many things, like somebody has to take care of security, this, that, whatever. But now it's like a totally different way to kind of build your software and even like run a company. Like people aren't really like internalizing this well enough, I would say. And a lot of people, when they think of AI, they still think like ChatGPT or like just asking a question. It's like a Google thing where you can just ask it whatever you want and then it'll give you the answer. But it's so much more than that
Oh yeah.
already, and it's
Yeah.
going to keep getting better. You can
So
use your computer end to end
hmm
today, and you can have like 10 agents doing their own things in its browser. Like it's great.
remember how we hired our videographer? Like he kind of sent
Yeah,
me a
we've told
PDF.
this story way too many times on the podcast. Like
Oh,
I feel
did you?
like
Okay.
pretty much every episode we kind of talk about this. But another example we could give is like how it's like doing outreach for us. Like we have Aayam using it. Like I'm sad Aayam isn't here today because he explained this best. But he basically set up this workflow where like Codex will find people based on like who they're hiring or like their Instagram. We're doing multiple experiments where like we have one Codex session go find people and like reach out to them on LinkedIn. We have one where we do emails, and we're starting Instagram as well. So we're starting like he was asking, like I gave him access to my personal Instagram to like, and then he changed my profile picture or whatever. It made me look a little like CEO. And then he's actually finding people on Instagram using Codex to then like send outreaches, and then we're gonna get to like people that way. So really the amount of things you can do now versus what you could do before with a small amount of like people or like with a small team plus
Mm-hmm.
a lot of AI, it's insane. Like I really like it blows my mind, and I'm
Oh
still
yeah.
kind of gathering my thoughts around this because what's possible now hasn't really been around for more than I'd say like a month or two. Like
Yeah.
this is really what like a step change was when like
Yeah.
computer use came around.
Mm-hmm.
How now it can use your browser to do things, click around, use a keyboard to type, use your mouse to click on
Yeah.
whatever different things it wants to click on. So yeah, like what's possible now and what's increasingly going to get easier to achieve. Like right now, even this, setting it up might not be like
Yeah.
just doable for everyone, but that's about to change, right? Is there anything interesting that you're using Codex for that like that's kind of interesting?
Yeah, so one thing I use Codex for, I think that we've not talked about, is as a QA engineer, actually. So it's
Right.
not just good in
Mm-hmm.
developing stuff, it's actually good in reviewing stuff as well to check if things are working, if things are working correctly. And if things are not, it actually changes things that are required. And it does it really well, especially with the new computer use. You can use the
Right.
computer. It has its own inbuilt browser, so it can access any websites that you're building. So it's really efficient in doing a complete end-to-end flow now, not just developing
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Totally.
Developing stuff
Yeah.
and actually checking if it's working. So I
Yeah,
think
like I actually want to
Agreed.
double click on this. Like, there's one thing I did recently. Our agent Lisa, basically, like it's an agent in our product. Like you can use it to like create a post. Basically, use the app so you don't really have to yourself. It can do whatever for you, basically. But um, I had to QA it. At this point, we have a lot of tools that like Lisa has, and we wanted to make sure like everything's kind of working as expected, working the way we need it to work. It has all the right context to kind of use those tools and everything like that. So I had to I had to, actually go through Lisa and like, start new conversations one by one. And then, have it test all the tools because it has access to, what tools it has. So I can see that and like, actually ask for things that would require that tool use or whatever. And then it went ahead and actually did like more than like 40 different chat sessions and then recorded all of it and created a report for me in like spreadsheet. So I could just look at it and be like, okay, this isn't working. This is working. And if I had to do that myself, that would be 100 messages. And like, how long would starting a new conversation and sending a message take for me to do? Like per message, it'd probably be like, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, or to a minute. And then that's times 100. So that's over an hour if you say 1 minute just for like, but it did that. And that, like, due to like the laziness of doing that, maybe I would have not even like tested all of them by myself. Maybe I'd have just done like, some of the most important tools and whatever. But like, what's possible now is that, like, I wanted to bring this up because you said QA. And yeah, like for QA, it's actually really, really amazing for that because it can like go ahead and do like things for you that's boring, honestly, one. And like two, like, it just takes so much time that like it doesn't make sense for you to like actually put your time into it because there's other things that need more focus. I mean, yeah, I think jobs are going to look very different, but they're not going to completely go away because you still want humans, and we're going to build these tools or AIs in a way where we're going to kind of design it in a way where human is still at the center of things. Now, you might say like, oh, AI will go rogue and just like, live on its own, it'll develop consciousness. And yeah, obviously we don't know. We'll see what happens. But from where it's going right now, I think it's going to go in a direction where these systems are going to be increasingly powerful and autonomous. And yeah, but maybe I'm just being too cocky in terms of like how I'm looking at this, like maybe the ceiling for how intelligent a system can be like is so high that like human intelligence just looks tiny compared to that. And like we can't really fathom what it means to even be that intelligent. And people bring up this argument where like every time a more intelligent species has met a less intelligent species, it's never gone well for the less intelligent species because we can look at like Neanderthals, like they used to walk around here, now they're not, and maybe something happened, like, or maybe we just killed all of them, like, yeah. So now you can say like it's not human though, so how do you know it's going to make the same human mistakes? But then we've talked about this too, where it's like the bootloader for it, like it's actually learning from human data. No, I mean, I'm not saying like, well, we really don't know but really this highlights the fact that we really need to take it seriously in terms of like, how we align these models, like what they will do and won't do. And like that decision is very, very important. And, these labs are making these decisions for us now. But I think the law and like, everything should catch up, and it is trying to make sure that like we have like a central framework for like, we're not going to go here, or maybe we shouldn't do that. There should be lines drawn around this just because of like how dual use this technology is. It's like the Greek explaining like when Prometheus brought fire to humanity, like, yeah, you can use fire to like cook food and like, be warm, and you can live anywhere on the planet with fire. But then it also opened up, killing people, trees, and like destroying nature and all of that. That's the alignment problem. Like, mostly I feel like it's still, the danger is still like humans using AI to like cause mass destruction, then like AI turning rogue and like turning conscious suddenly and like, destroying the world or something like that. I think that's very much less likely to happen versus like some bad actor, like, using it to cause like a new like bio virus or something like that. Like, you could target genetics and DNA, like probably, some of these nation states or like these terrorist organizations, not to give them ideas or whatever, like, but they could build viruses that just affect like, people with like brown hair or like, and it could cause a real problem for the world. And we have to really make sure we have AIs to like defend that. I think defensive biohazard or defensive biomechanics or whatever industry is going to be really important in the future, unfortunately, because like just because
Yeah.
there's going to be these people that are trying to do that, so we have to like make sure we have cure for that, or we can
Yeah.
defend against that, you know.
Yeah, but I think like talking about that, there's always been that balance, right? So let's say for cybersecurity, right? There's always people that are on the good side and there's those on the bad side. So
Right.
it's always going to be the same case, right?
I
For
think
nuclear
so.
energy too. So
And that's why it's very important to like
yeah,
arm the good guys as well. That's
someone
one thing
from
that's scary actually, is like, you know, if you wanted to, you could totally build a
oh,
very, very like surveillance kind of state. Like, and maybe it's already happening. Like,
I
I can
bet someone,
imagine.
I
Like,
bet
I can
someone from
imagine countries like, say, like North Korea or something like
oh
that,
yeah,
you know, trying to develop their own AI models to like keep tabs, like all with like, imagine connecting all the CCTV in your
oh
country
yeah,
to AI and then being like, okay, like find crimes or whatever. And it'd be
yeah,
used for great things, like, you know, just stopping crimes and like, you know, whatever. But you
yeah,
can imagine how it could also be used for like really dangerous situations and like just abusing the power of like that, you know, like now you can
yeah,
ask anything. Imagine a system where you can be like, hey, how many of our citizens are like, you know, eating right now, and then you'd
yeah,
get that instantly. Like,
yeah. I bet, like, sorry to cut you off, but I bet like someone from OpenAI knows exactly what I ate today morning. Because like I was just literally asking, all right, I ate like this. Do you think it would be enough for my day? So again, like, I bet someone from
yeah,
OpenAI could know what I ate,
they could,
like,
yeah,
for,
like whether
yeah,
they have is like a different thing, but
but like,
in
just
theory
grabbing
it's
from my,
possible.
Do you think this issue is unavoidable, like the privacy thing?
Yeah, I mean, this is something we're gonna have to deal with,
yeah,
like it or not. Like, and how we decide to deal with it as humanity is
yeah,
like that's the thing to see. Like, you know, America, or like American values, democracy, and like, you know, letting the people decide or like have a voice, whatever. Versus like, you can imagine Russia, where Putin is like, okay, I want to know everything or whatever, right? Like you can imagine how that's going to keep, like, if somebody, imagine North Korea, like, I guess that's easier to imagine, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
where, you know, Kim Jong Un is like, if anyone is talking bad, just listen to everybody's phones. Just anyone's talking bad about me, just bring them to me.
hmm
And that would be so easy. Like I could
oh
build
yeah,
it right now. Anyone
yeah,
could build it right now. And that's the scary part of it. Like,
yeah. And so,
So I just wanted to, since I was talking about competition, I just wanted to like remind people that even China is not that far behind. I
oh yeah,
mean, we've been
totally.
using
no,
OpenAI, we've been using Anthropic because it's so popular, right? We see it everywhere on Twitter, on YouTube, and we don't see anything about China, so people might feel like, oh, China is lagging behind.
no,
But
it's not.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
to test things, I actually downloaded like an application file for a Chinese chat app that they've made, ByteDance, the company that makes TikTok. So
Yeah.
it's called Dobao. It's basically called Dobao, and it's crazy. So there's CDance 2.0, the video model integrated into that chat app as well. And it's actually crazy. So I've used it,
hmm
and I can say that it's probably the best translation app that I've ever used. It's really fast, and it like does everything. They've literally integrated everything, to like voice
so,
recognition, to like finding people,
Mm-hmm.
like creating videos, creating
hmm
TikToks through here directly. So
yep,
it's like China is playing its own game in the AI
oh yeah,
world, in the AI
oh yeah.
Totally.
community.
I,
They're very
I would
strong
also,
in open
yeah,
source models. Like you can
yeah,
see like closed source AI models from US are really good and probably like, are in the frontier if you're really comparing it like that. But yeah, like open source models, like there's no good open source model from the US if you really think about it, because DeepSeek just destroys everything else,
oh
you
yeah,
know?
that
And
is mind blowing.
they have like a handicap because they're, you know, they don't have access to the best like GPUs or whatever, but still like they're in the race. It's not like
Oh yeah,
they're not in the race.
they're not far behind. I don't even think they're like five
Totally.
years behind. I think like they're like a couple of months or even
5
years
years,
behind.
that's a lot.
It's
That's like a
yeah,
that's a century in AI. Like
yeah,
they're
I
probably like
know.
6 months behind,
Yeah, they're
if that.
just months
So
away.
US cannot afford to stop either, you know?
Mm-mm.
And yeah, that's the dynamic we're talking about, where like to release it to the public, like even like having like try, even when you're trying to be careful, like maybe you'll be able to convince these AI companies in the US to be like, okay guys, like maybe let's, you know, slow down a bit, test things, make sure it doesn't, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like cause mass destruction or whatever. But China's going to keep doing
Oh,
what China's doing, right?
I
So
think
it's like you can't, either side cannot afford to like stop because of like game theory. Yeah. So it's just going to keep continuing. And that's like one thing to like kind of think about. And I'm sure there's going to be at some point, like because China or the US or Russia or nobody wants to destroy humanity itself, right? So hopefully, but yeah, like I'm sure they'll come to an agreement, or I hope they will come to an agreement where we're not going to do things to destroy humanity, period. And
Mm.
if one of us finds that, we're going to unite to go against the AI. If there's a rogue AI or whatever, there's going to have to be laid these ground rules at least, because it's, yeah, like we have for nuclear, we have things like, you know,
all these
even with
principles.
Russia, like
Yeah.
we're not going to randomly do it, or like if you see something, you have to like tell us before just
Mhm.
retaliating. Both sides
Mhm.
agree to that. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's gonna have to be an agreement, and I'm sure there will be.
I mean, we've been talking about AI in a kind of a dystopian landscape a lot. So people might think it's all bad, but it's not.
Oh no, it's
It
not.
really isn't. Yeah.
It's not.
Can be used for good a lot. I mean, one
Oh yeah.
example
I mean,
is like
yeah, I believe we're gonna be able to solve all diseases within this, like within the next 10 years. Where we will have solved pretty much like all the diseases that we have.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's going to be amazing. Like you're going to be
Oh
able
yeah.
to learn whatever you want to learn. You're going to be able to get into whatever you want to get into. You're
Mhm.
not going to have to work to earn a living. Everyone will
Oh yeah.
earn a living just because they're
Yeah.
human.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine who is in like I think in San Francisco, and he's doing this startup. He has the same last name as you, Ayush, and like
Oh,
I think
okay,
we talked
cool.
about this as well. And so he's
Oh
doing
yeah.
something in this realm where so what they're doing is like let's say for doctors, right? So
Right.
like let's say you diagnose a patient. So there's
Mm-hmm.
going to be like a huge PDFs of reports that the nurses or like your associate doctor kind of creates, and the
Yeah.
doctor has to go and read everything to diagnose like and like these are like terminal diseases, right? So what they are creating is so you would just upload the document, and upon reading the whole thing, it will pinpoint out like 4 or 5 diseases, and it like among like thousands and thousands of diseases. So
What
like
document are you uploading? Like
so it's like a PDF of diagnosis. Like let's say like I'm
whatever
not quite
test
sure.
result or something like that.
Yeah,
But why
yeah,
can't you just
and
put it into ChatGPT or something like that?
well they
Or
you
maybe they
can, but
integrate
like it's
around
read.
there. Yeah.
But when it comes to health, I don't think that's like more concrete, right? You have to have like so much, I don't know what the term is, but like you have to have like a lot of principles. Yep, I think HIPAA.
Actually, OpenAI's model has been really trained to do personal health. They've made that like a thing they benchmark against in RL4. So it's
Hmm.
actually really, really good at like helping you with like health
Hmm.
stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
not saying it's going to be replacing doctors or anything
no, no,
anytime
no.
soon, because you
They're just
still
making,
trust your doctor to make judgments that kind of define how your life goes and like how you live life. But
yeah,
yeah, like increasingly so, it's getting better and better at different
yeah,
things. And it's
yeah.
crazy. I mean, at some point I just feel like it's going to be able to do everything that we currently have humans
Wally.
do. And yeah, like I'm yeah, like what you said, you know, Wally, like we're just going to be doing what we do. I'm sure people are going to find like very different hobbies to kind of get into. Like for example, like hey, like I have this mouse, like but I don't like the weight of it, so I'm going to create my own mouse where
Yeah,
where it's lighter, and like this is a different color, and then like the design of it, I want to make it more ergonomic. Or
yeah,
and then people are just going to get into like designing their own custom
yeah.
mice or like
I think,
keyboards or like whatever it is that you're
yeah,
into, right? Like
yeah.
knitting or whatever, right? Like
I
and
think, yeah, the
you can do
next,
like custom like manufacturers
yeah,
just for you, because it's not going to be as expensive, because it's like the factories are being run by AI. So you're really
exactly.
just paying for
Yes.
electricity at that point, if you just think
I
about
think
it.
not even that, bro. I think that's when innovation peaks at its highest.
Yeah.
The only
And imagine the things people will invent, right? Like
oh yeah,
exactly like you
that's
said,
it.
like I'm going to create this and like you're just going to be able to prototype in the world of atoms like we're able to prototype right now in the digital
Yeah,
world. Like, you know, how we're like talking to AI and just creating websites or like apps and products for us, right? Imagine being able to do that, but for like
in real life products.
yeah, physical things like, hey, I want a spoon that's like golden at the top, like, and the
Mm-hmm.
the height of it or the depth of it should be like exactly like this, and it should be a little curved then instead of like just flat. And I want it to be circular, and it needs to like have a
Yeah,
little like corner that kind of is blunt so I can hold it better, and like you can really keep going, and then it'll just build it for you, you know.
yeah,
Right? And at that point, you're gonna be able to build whatever it is that you want to build. Like, hey, I want to build a phone, but that is bigger than like the iPhone that I
yeah,
currently have, but I need it to be like blue and whatever. And then they'll it'll make it for you.
yeah. Just like change the color or whatever, right? Again,
Totally.
I think
Change the
yeah,
design.
when yeah, when the AI comes in or like replace, I think innovation's gonna be a peak. And
Mm.
to be honest with you,
What do you think we should be doing as an AI company or like, you know, AI company working in marketing space? What do you think we should be focusing on? Like, I'd like to ask Zoas mainly because like, you know, you're working at it actively at a marketing firm. So yeah, like, let me know what you think we should be doing to like, you know, what's the most like effective thing that we could be doing to help a marketing firm that's currently running with like, you know, just how it's running.
so I think like we're in a pretty good track to be honest with you. We just released something with CCRC, the chatbot with Youanai.
Right.
So that's pretty dang helpful. I can tell you that. And it's on a WordPress plugin too. So meaning like
Right.
60% of the world's web is on WordPress. So we are already able to integrate with 60% of the world's like web.
So you're saying even something like a chatbot on a website, it's what people
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
need right now.
So
And that makes sense. Like that totally makes sense. Like there's a lot of companies, you know, just building like super advanced stuff or like
yep.
things that can do this or that.
Oh yeah.
But then like when it comes to what actually a business needs is like just a chatbot on the website to like, you know, ask
Yeah,
so
man.
your
Like
customers can ask questions. Like that
again,
totally makes sense.
it's all about making like it's all about solving problems and making the user's life better, right? Again, what we have as of right now, right? As of today,
Hmm.
is like we have something like similar to Spout, where we have like image gen model. You just let Lisa know. Lisa is our chatbot, by the way. You just let Lisa know you want to create a post, and so it kind of removes like the funneling. Like let's say you don't need a discovery meeting. You already have a website. If you have already have a website, there you go, right? So for a marketing, you need to go and understand the client. You already have that. You already have the brand context. You already have the tone of the branding. We already scraped that here in
Right.
UNI. And like right after that, it's straight up to like, okay, give me ideas. And I do it every single day, right? Posting like for UNI and all those kind of fun stuff. And like it will give me brand context of like solid ideas. It's not just like regular ideas, it's like solid ideas. Then you would have a brand context, it would have colors, tones, and everything, and it would just create me a post, right? Remember this cool feature we were talking about integrating with our Twilio in our phone?
Oh, right. Being able to just
Yeah.
text the
Yeah.
AI, like, so it
Yeah.
can create posts for you and
Yeah.
post it.
Again, it's just
That's a great point.
yep. So again, like we talked about, I
Sanskar,
mean,
you're the product guy, so I hope you're listening.
okay, and that's gonna be a game changer. I promise you guys.
Yeah.
So just like
No, that would be really cool. I'm excited to when Sanskar gets to it. So yeah, you're on the spot,
so
Sanskar.
again, everybody has this. Everybody has this, right? And if you can, again, it's basically like an MCP for your phone, and like you just integrate it with Twilio, and you have what the next thing you know, you have is
Yeah, I
just
mean
like all
we're
image
already
gen.
80% there if you're
Yeah,
we're being honest about it. And we're
yeah,
actually just in the process of like one of our engineers is working on getting our app as a plugin into Codex and ChatGPT and like Claude and Claude
yeah,
Code and stuff like that. So as soon as we're able to do that, it's just another layer to like add the SMS integration. So
yeah.
it's coming. It's coming.
Oh yeah,
And I'm gonna
I
be
know.
really like excited and I'll send it to you as soon as we have it.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, we've been talking about this for like what? I mean, like a month.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, we really, yeah, Yeah, at least a month. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And it's just been like, that we're working on so many different
Oh, so many
things
things, right?
here. So,
Yeah.
it's like kind of in
Yeah.
the roadmap, but something that we should totally get into. And I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like a lot of our users would appreciate that
Oh
as well. Just being able to like just text the AI, like send
yeah.
a
And
quick picture and be like, yo, just enhance this and post it,
yeah.
and then it'll be like, okay, like here's what I have. Do you like this? Okay, yes, I do. Then go ahead and post it.
Confirmation. And
Totally.
like just imagine that, just like it's like chatting with your buddy, just like me and you chatting, and be like,
Right.
okay, you know what,
Yeah,
Larry, post it.
exactly.
There you go.
Totally.
And like that's gonna be
Yeah.
a game changer.
Yeah,
We've been talking about a lot.
and increasingly so, like that's how you do work at this point anyway, right? Like you're just
Yep.
talking to these agents, you're just giving them tasks, and all your job is to make sure or verify that it's good so you can sign off on it. Now it's still up to
okay.
you. If the AI messes up, you're still on the hook because you're the one that,
And
got the AI to do what it did. But
like
yeah,
when you say like mess it up, human messes it up too,
yeah, totally.
right?
And it's
You're like, let's say you hire a graphic designer and like he or she messes it up. So it's
totally.
on you to
And
like
humans mess up more than
more.
AIs do at this point. But still, AI messing up matters to us because, increasingly so, we're going to put it into like more critical infrastructures and critical places where it's going to have access to like, or have like a huge impact with the decisions it makes. So even if it's like failing like 1% of the time and 99% it's great, that 1% may end up being horrible or like catastrophic.
And like I'm sorry, like let's revert back when I was saying like I create posts, right?
Mm.
6 7 months ago it was just mid, okay, but now it's coming to a point, and I'll come back to your point as well, Lami. It's coming to a point where it's like really good. And when you say like the 1% chance that it's not going to make, like, it's probably going to make a mistake, that's when AI would thrive more than a human being, because it's just going to learn and learn and learn, and it's just going to have so much data that it's going to use it to optimize itself, and that 1% is slowly going to go to 0.5, slowly going to go to 0.1. Next thing you know, you have this perfect thing, and I can see that happening with our product right here, right today.
I mean, it's already happening, right? Like,
Yeah,
can you imagine how GPT 3.5 or 4 was?
right.
Like, how many mistakes it would make, how it would
Oh
just
yeah.
like hallucinate. We don't really have that with these new
No.
models anymore. Like, I've really come to a point where I can like trust like GPT 5.5
Right.
or like, some of these newer models to go do something for me. Like, really like, and then I trust it to use my computer. I trust it to like
Mhm.
click around. Now that could get dangerous if it were like something that's not like as accurate when it comes to clicking things or whatever, right? And it
Mhm.
wasn't really to that point. And this isn't something I used to just let it do all the
No.
time. Like it's only been maybe a month or so that like it's
Mhm.
gotten to a point, especially since like GPT 5.4, I think, is when computer use started getting really good. But now I just trust it to go do that. And before, like the level I trusted it to build software just kept increasing over the
Oh, yeah.
course of like 2 years, or 2 to 3 or whatever years. Like,
yeah,
we'd have models to just do like autocomplete for us. Like we used to handwrite all of our code. Remember that time? Like I can't do that
going to
anymore.
Stack
Like I'm not.
Overflow.
Yeah, I'd rather just quit, bro. Like I'm not like handwriting codes anymore.
Yeah. Again, and like if you really think about it, it's not that we're like bad coders. It's just made it more efficient, and like just the time where you used to remember syntax, you don't need that anymore. And like if you really think about it,
Right.
it's just like
You can think
you
in
know,
abstract, like what you
yeah,
want. Like you still need
yeah,
some of these concepts, like, what is
oh
a
yeah,
database? What is a background worker? Or like, stuff like that, like
yeah,
concepts, but you can really work in abstract now where
yeah,
you're not really having to like go write everything on your own, but just like orchestrate, define a high level architecture of like, this is the
hmm
kind of system that I want to build and it needs to
that's
do this. And this is what it's going to ask for. And this is the output.
yeah,
And I want it to be like secure. And we're going to do this to make it secure and
yeah,
this and that. Or you could even ask, like, how do I make it more secure? How do I make it more
yeah.
robust? Do you think this is
Systems
a good
engineer.
idea?
So like system principal engineer, like honestly, like more than QA, I kind of use it as that, to be honest with you. Just like, all right, I want to build this app or build this feature in Drupal. Give me the
Yeah.
whole the context. I do that a lot,
Yeah.
and give me the best principles so that like I have all this security thing that's taken care of. I have all this like architecture thing that's taken care of, and just go back and forth with it. All right, you know what? A small human aspect of me that's like, you know what? I want to change some architect on, like, let's say even in Drupal, right? I want to change some architect. I'll just go back and forth, and it will like till I go to a concrete point, till I get a concrete answer. I just go back and forth, and it's going to be like it's like security is going to taken care of, like the best architect,
Yeah.
and like bet my job is to make the user experience much more better. That's taken care of, and like at the end, it's just like execution. And execution is that's I think that's the last red button, right before you, and like
Yeah.
all those kind of fun stuff is again that's where I generally use AI a lot, to be honest with you. Just like more QA has its own
Designing the
part,
high
dev has
level.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah like
totally. And then it'll go ahead and
architecturing
do
it,
it.
yep, and like making sure it's all secured, because again, there's like sensitive data that we have from clients, because like we technically work with a lot of government clients as well, so all those kind of
Right.
things.
That makes sense.
So yeah, it's like you can use AI basically to like find all the bottlenecks and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Just
Totally.
like make it a complete system before you even start on the
Mm-hmm.
product.
Mm-hmm.
Make it like
Yeah,
a
Yeah.
complete design. Yeah.
like all those
Yeah, like
discovery
exactly. You
meetings.
can like really design it in your head and then use AI to like make it more and more robust before you even
Oh
like build anything.
yeah,
And I'd
all those
recommend
like
people actually do that
a lot.
because like having a great plan, make sure the outcome is great. Like when you're using these agents, like if you're using it to like build or like test or do something
Yeah.
else like send emails or whatever, having a good plan and then executing it matters more than like just if you just give it something big, it's going to come back to you with
Oh yeah.
something big, right?
Yep. I
Yeah.
think it like helps like you forecast all the issues that you're probably gonna run into, right?
Yeah.
And all those. And again, like if you feed it like bull crap, it's gonna spit out bull crap. But if you feed like a real gold, right, and like have that product in, soak it in, okay, you do the thing. Again, that's there you go. That's like really good workflow that like all devs can implement honestly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, we've kind of come to the end, I guess, of the episode today. Anything else you guys want to kind of, share to the world before we go?
Nope. I
Hey,
think we covered all.
yep,
Yeah, I mean, that was a fun conversation. Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to you, Zois. And yeah, as
always
always,
like
Sanskar
always.
with you too. Yeah, so we will see you next week, everyone. Hope you enjoyed our conversation. And yeah, thank you for tuning into Flow State. Bye bye.
Have a good day. Bye bye.